welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, we are talking about one of my favorite things to do, and that is travel. And if you are making any travel plans for your summer getaway, chances are they will include a visit to a state or national park. You know, I've been to so many of those. I love them.
What is your count up to? Do you know?
Oh my gosh.
You've been to too many.
I've been to all 50 states, but I have not counted how many national parks I've been to. You've given me a new
Okay.
challenge.
Yes, we'll have to figure that one out. But California park organizations are teaming up for a very special event next week. Kindley, Walsh, Lawlor, and Jason DeWall are here with details. Welcome to Main Street Living.
Thanks so much for having us. Great to be here.
Hi, thank you.
So Kindley, what can you tell us about Parks California? What is your role and what does that encompass?
Great. Yeah, my name's Kindley. I'm the president and CEO of Parks California, and we're a 3.5-year-old nonprofit that works as a statutory partner to California State Parks. And what that means is we work from the inside out, setting joint priorities and working at that intersection of equity and access to parks and public lands and resource stewardship and climate resiliency. So we work very closely with state parks, focusing on programs and projects statewide across 279 state parks in California. And by the way, I do count. And in 3.5 years in this job, I have been to about 125. So I've got a lot more to go. But it's a big state. It's a big state when you're driving around, I've got to tell you.
Good for you. You got me trumped there. And I heard you say climate, and I'm a meteorologist. So anything you can do for sustainability, anything like that. Oh my gosh, it's like such near and dear to my heart. So thank you for that. And I know you're about to kick off the first ever California State Parks Week on June 14th, which is super cool. What do you have planned for that?
Well, it's really exciting. This first California State Parks Week was an amazing effort by a few key partners. Of course, State Parks was core there, Save the Redwoods League, ourselves at Parks California, and then California State Parks Foundation, plus all the amazing on-the-ground park partners. Maybe you know this from having an experience across the U.S. and national parks, but California State Parks are dependent on individual park friends groups or nonprofits. And they are doing amazing things, hosting activities. And Jason will talk a little bit more about that today, about some of the things you'll see in your areas and your local parks. We have a different theme each day, starting Tuesday, June 14th through Saturday, June 18th. And I want to just take a minute, if I can, just to focus on day one. Tuesday, June 14th is Land Acknowledgement Day. And, you know, this has become, I'll say the word trend, but maybe you've heard meetings begin with people sharing whose native land that they sit on. For example, I'm in Huntington Beach today, and I'm sitting on the native land of the Tongva people. But I want to say, too, we have to do so much more than just acknowledge the land we sit on. It's really about forming partnerships and helping to drive positive change. And in this case, ensuring always that Native voices are represented and heard. While we talk about something as important as Land Acknowledgement Day, kicking off the first California State Parks Week, it gets so much deeper and bigger than that, right? As we think about the incredible partnerships and opportunities to learn from each other. And I'll say one more thing to our meteorologist host here. You know, tribes across California are also working on wildfire resiliency and climate resiliency in park units across California. So there's beautiful things happening that go even beyond that idea of acknowledging on whose ancestral lands we're all sitting on every day.
Wow.
And that's so important. I mean, because wildfires seem to affect every part of California. So let's get Jason involved here, of course, rope him into this. California, a very diverse state. What are some of the parks that will be taking part in State Parks Week?
Yeah, we're pretty lucky. The field took this by storm once we introduced the concept. We've got over 100 state park units that are participating across the week. We down at Leo Carrillo State Park for Kids Career Day. We've got Stewardship Day. We've got things happening at Millerton Lake and Calaveras Big Trees, Huntington State Beach, Tai Chi at Huntington State Beach for Health and Wellness Day. So some really cool things like that we're doing in the field, just trying to connect communities with our parks and your local state parks that are close to you. But also there's some bigger things happening up at Prairie Creek in North Coast Redwoods. So if you want a destination and go up there on the 18th for Partnership Day, you can make a destination out of it and really have some fun up there.
Oh, I'm glad that you're bringing in so many of these different activities and days, the stewardship, health and wellness, kids' career. And Kinley, I want to focus on the theme for the last day of the Parks Week,
Mhm.
June 18th.
Yeah, Partnership and Volunteer Day. Again, as I mentioned, parks are dependent on the people who love them, right? So helping parks be more welcoming and inclusive, but also ensuring they're climate resilient is a huge job, especially when you're talking about 279 of these parks across the state. And they range from urban parks like LA State Historic Park, Candlestick Park, to beautiful wilderness parks, but also getting into all of the historic parks that we have across the state. And partners play such a key role to helping parks achieve important goals. The partners range from nonprofits like us at Parks California for profit, but community organizations and volunteers. And this idea of public private partnerships allows for each partner to share their strengths and abilities with state parks to achieve joint priorities. As I mentioned, the partnership in the North Coast Redwoods between state parks and the Yurok tribe is a great example, a shining example of what that can look like. Another is work I'm doing actually with Jason's team in the Bay Area at Candlestick State Point in San Francisco, where multiple orgs have come together to work locally with community to help establish that urban park as a real community hub. And then
Oh,
again, getting on the ground, right? Parks friends groups who are often organizing school field trips with their local schools and districts. Volunteerism is integral to how things work within California state parks. So that's why we chose to end the week in that way, really highlighting these incredible partners and volunteers.
Well, I personally am from the Bay Area, so I get up there all the time. But Jason, are there activities or ways to participate if you can't physically visit the parks?
Yeah, absolutely. We have some virtual events that are listed on the website, and all you got to do is click the link. But like at Samuel P. Taylor, we have Enjoy the Redwoods and Explore the Redwoods virtually. Hearst Castle's having a couple of different events virtually. They're really well set up for that. On Health and Wellness Day, like exercise with the guides on the deck. It's pretty cool, some of the stuff and how creative everybody's been to make this happen.
oh,
cool.
that's so wonderful. And again, what's that website our viewers should go to learn more?
So it's castateparksweek.org.
All right. We are planning a trip. Thank you both so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having us.
Amazing. Well, Cheryl, you're going to have to get to counting so we know how many parks you're up to. But in the meantime, coming up next, you may think you are past your prime, but anytime is a good time to play ball.